Hey, I'm Lee, and I'm going to show you how to deploy your Next.js site to Vercel. Vercel is the creators and maintainers of Next.js, and if you want to learn more about Next.js, you're in the right spot because we got a ton of content on this channel that'll walk you through everything that you need to know. So I'm on Vercel.com. I've already made an account and logged in, and I'm going to go to our templates page. So on this templates page, we have a bunch of different applications that you can get started with quickly. I'm going to pick the Next.js boilerplate, and from here, I'm going to click deploy. Now, the first thing it's going to ask is the Git repository that I want to connect to. So whether that's GitHub or another Git provider, I'm going to use that and call this Next.js boilerplate delete later. I make a lot of these. And then we're going to say, yeah, we're going to keep this private. So I'm going to hit create. That's going to go out to my Git account. It's going to make a new repository for me, and it's going to copy paste all of that starter code from this boilerplate. So now what's going to happen is Vercel's infrastructure is going to take that code and it's going to start a new build. So it's going to run our Next.js application inside of our secure infrastructure. It's going to run next build to take that application, generate the outputs, and then finally take those outputs generated from your framework of choice and upload them to our global edge network. So in a matter of under a minute here, we go from some starter template, some Next.js app, to a globally deployed, globally distributed Next.js application. And the great part is that if you want to add something custom like your own domains or set up some analytics or understand the performance of your site or look at the logs or monitoring, we can get into all of that as well too. But first and foremost, let's get this Next.js site online and see what it looks like. So we have just deployed our new project to Vercel, and we see that we get our confetti and we get our new Next.js app deployed here. So if I click out here, here's our new website. So we get a new custom domain for a .vercel.app, and our Next.js site is online. Now, the great part is that with Vercel's Git integrations, this automatically connected to our GitHub or GitLab or Bitbucket account. So back in my editor on the left, if I pull down this new code that we created, and let's say I change something here to like hello YouTube or something like this, and I go in here, I've made some changes. We're going to say push changes. We're going to take this. We're going to push these changes to our origin repository here. Now back in GitHub, if I reload the pages, I see that we have this new commit, push changes, and there's this yellow pending check here. So it says Vercel is deploying your app. It automatically recognized I pushed these changes in my repository, and it kicked off a new build for me. So now going over back into Vercel, we're on this deployment view. We see that for our production environment, so it's going to update our live URL. We're going to kick off a new deployment with these new changes. And if we want, we could even expand down our build logs here and see that we're generating the different static pages. We're optimizing our application through the Next.js build. And then we're going to take those and upload them to Vercel. So we get the output summary here. And if I just close this down, what we'll see then after this finishes is we're going to see our production URL, this Next.js boilerplate delete later. If I go out here and click over to this, we now see hello YouTube inside of the body. So we can push changes, we can kick off builds immediately. It syncs with our Git repository, and it's really quick to update. Now, another cool thing about this is if I go back to our deployment summary, we also see the specific things that were generated because of this. So it recognizes I use Next.js, I'm on version 14.1. Here are the specific static assets that were generated as part of my application. And you kind of get this overall summary of the framework outputs that were generated and used on Vercel. So you can start in your local editor. You can start from a template. We try to make it as easy as possible for you to get your Next.js or other framework app online. Now, this also works if I want to make changes from my terminal as well too. So we have a CLI that you can use if you prefer. Back in my editor, I made some changes to a string here. And if I go to my terminal and I run Vercel, for example, we can kick off a new deployment of our application. Now, because we've already made a production deployment, this is going to be a preview deployment. So we get back this preview deployment here, which is basically going to say, hey, your deployment's building. If you want to go check it out, just click on the build status here. And we can click in and say that this is for our preview environment. So whether we kick off a deployment from our CLI or we push up changes to a pull request on your Git provider, you can verify that things look like you want. You can do testing. You can validate with your team in this preview environment. before you then take it and go to your production environment where you have the choice to assign domains. So we just pushed up this change here. I can already see by the screenshot, but I can click in here and I get this unique URL of my changes. And it says, do we want to make these changes? Are we sure? And you'll notice it loaded this toolbar. This toolbar is going to be great for you and your team to be able to collaborate on your deployments. So maybe I say, you know what, actually, we don't want this. And we can upload some screenshots. We can integrate with our task management system like a Jira or a GitHub Issues or a Linear. And if we did like this, we could either run Vercel --prod in our CLI, or if we're using the Git workflow, we can merge our PR back into our main branch and kick off that production deployment. Now, there's a bunch more that we can do on Vercel. We can understand the performance of our application by looking at our core web vitals. We can understand our traffic to our website, whether it's trending up or down and what pages people are going to. We can look at logs for people who are visiting our site live and understand more about the status codes and the HTTP methods that they're making. There's a ton of stuff that we can do here, but I'll keep it pretty brief for today. This was just how to deploy your Next.js application to Vercel. You can get started with 35 plus front-end frameworks and get online in a matter of minutes. Hope this was helpful. Let me know if you want to see more. Peace.